Welcome to episode 72 of the HHH Racing Podcast. I'm your host, Howard Kravitz. Thanks for joining me tonight for our Pick 5 at the Spa segment as we're going to discuss the late Pick 5 on Sunday at Saratoga. Please make sure you follow me on Twitter at HKravitz. You can see on the name tag. And you can also email me with any questions, comments, concerns, hkravitzhorse at gmail.com. The spelling's on the scroll at the bottom. Also, please make sure you subscribe right there on the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. And after you subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when new content arises. I had a mixed bag of results today that I want to first discuss before we get into the late pick 5 tomorrow on Sunday. My pick 5 opinions, frankly, were not very good today. I thought it was very tough to hit the pick 5 today. There were 3 grade 1s. The racing was outstanding. I was just not very good with my selections in the late pick 5, but I was good on selections earlier in the card, which I'll talk about in just a minute. The test stakes, won by Bella Sofia, who the buyers just came out, got a 101 buyer speed figure for Rudy Rodriguez. I thought there'd be a lot more pace in the race. They actually ended up going relatively moderate pace. One of my daughters, Super Sensational, ran very well actually for second. Obligatory, my other daughter, was absolutely horrible. Search results really didn't do much running. There really wasn't a lot of running in the race. Always Karina was disappointing. Just the pace was a lot slower than I thought. And Bella Sofia obviously got the distance very well. And she won. So congratulations to Rudy Rodriguez. In the Saratoga Derby, I was very, very confident a Euro would win. The European horse that won was not the one I would think. It was State of, hold on, get the name there. Sorry. State of Test? Not sure I have the name. I wrote it down and I can't read it correctly. My bad. A state horse. One for Joseph O'Brien. Really impressive. Had only gone a mile at the furthest distance, stretched out easily. Fantastic ride by Johnny V. Followed by another Euro, who was a price. So 2 Euros finished 1-2, but they were both prices. Bolsha Ballet, one of the horses I liked, was up too close to the pace, finished 4th, and Cadillac was absolutely awful, and I have no idea why. I had a side bet going with someone who thought Palazzi was going to beat Bolshoi, but Bolshoi won by about a length and 3/4. Anyway, there was no way, shape, or form I was going to have a pick 5 with Bella Sofia and the 9 horse for Joseph O'Brien in the same pick 5. It just wasn't going to happen. Hopefully you had it. I did not. In the Whitney, very predictable. Ended up being my biggest bet of the day because I was down some and I wanted to try to make up for it, and I did. Not very creative. I had a win bet on K-Nix Go, which you might say, Howard, why'd you do that? The horse was only even money. Because I thought he should have been 2-5 or 3-5. Again, it was the same situation I ran to last month with Santa Barbara. I think K-Nix Go was an overlay today. He paid $4.10 to me. That was a price. And then I played an exacta with Maxfield. That ended up paying $10 for 2. Basically 4-1. So I got a 4-1 exacta and a win bet on K-Nix Go. I'm not patting myself on the back. It was pretty obvious it was going to happen that way. The race did flow exactly. I mean, exactly the way we talked about Thursday night on the show, where Swiss Skydiver was asked by Irad out of the gate. Excellent. He got to the rail. K-Nix Go went in front of him, and then Swiss Skydiver came to the outside. So the race planned out exactly how I thought. I actually thought Swiss Skydiver ran really well, considering she was off since April. She ran a credible 4th, but K-Nix Go is just a speed freakazoid. So congratulations to Brad Cox and K-Nix Go. The other horse that we didn't really talk much about Thursday, but Warlike got us, a horse that we've talked about on this show a bunch of times in the spring. For Bill Mott, just blew by another field. She's going to be headed towards the Breeders' Cup Philly Mare Turf, it looks like, in the fall in Del Mar. She has to improve to be a factor in that race, but she might be the best two-turn distance filly on the turf in the country right now. Her turn of foot is absolutely crazy good, and she can handle the distance. So that's just a quick recap. But however, before we get to some comments, and I see there are some comments, I'll get to those comments. Ralph and Joe, I see you're here today. Thank you very much. I just want to mention something for those of you watching live and or considering, um, or who are going to watch this later tonight or tomorrow before the pick five sequence. I have a race day blog, and the reason I bring up this race day blog now is because the race day blog was very good to me today, and good for all those who purchased my race day blog. I'm going to go ahead and bring it up on the screen. This is my actual race day blog. No, I didn't make any edits to make myself look good. I just want to point this out, and I'm going to make it bigger because um, although my opinions were not very good, frankly, in the pick five, I had some very good opinions earlier on the day, and I just want to point those out real quick. If you look at the bottom left-hand side of the screen, and I want to make this too big, I'll do it just right there. Here are my um, opinions of some of the earlier races. And you can see I like the 2 or the 3 in race 1. Of course, I sent out this blog. I wrote the blog up Friday night, and I sent it out Saturday morning before the odds were shown. So the day started off tremendously with the 2 horse winning the first race. In the second race, Journeyman was a spot play. Finished a very good second to a horse that completely freaked for I think it was Diodoro off the claim, but the one, so I had a nice exacta there. The one ran second. I mentioned in race 3, I don't know if you guys can read that on the screen there, that I liked the 1 or the 3, and I said the last sentence there, if you can read, it says throw in the 6 underneath as a bomb, who was the only closer in the race, and the 6 did fill out a nice exacta at I think it was 10-1, and was the longest price in the board. Race 4, I was very interested in a horse called Umbria. You can see on the screen there that's in bold. Umbria was like 15-1 and ran a nice third, and I was able to hit a trifecta there at a big price. Umbria was. And then in the 5th race, which was the race that Steve Asmussen, by the way, broke the North American training record, I liked a horse called Keep On Carry On, who also ran a nice second. And finally, in race 6, I know he wasn't a big price with a weird situation with a horse running for purse money only. But I did like Flavius today. He was bet all the way down to 6-5. But anyway, I did like Flavius. So I just want to point that out for the simple fact that I do have a race day blog. It's been very profitable for quite a while. You can get I'll just go ahead and bring it up on the screen. There's the information. If you're not familiar with my race day blog, there's also a lot of information below the video player in the description. So if you look below the video player on my YouTube channel of this video in the description, you can find out about my race day blog. I did not have a disastrous day for the simple fact that I had some very nice opinions earlier in the card. So although I didn't hit the pick five, I was able to give out some nice opinions earlier today. So it does pay to listen to the HHH Racing podcast, even if we didn't hit the pick five today, which I thought was overall very difficult. A horse I didn't like at all, frankly, won the second to last race, Danny California, who ran a race out of nowhere. Um, but anyway, listen, this is a very tough game. I did have to pick five yesterday for over $1,000, so it goes up and down. You're not going to hit every day. Things happen, but overall, it was a fantastic day of racing at Saratoga today. Let's go ahead and get to some quick comments before we talk about the pick five. Ralph, how you doing? There were 3 pick fives today. Congratulations, Ralph, on hitting that middle pick five. That was awesome. State of rest. Thank you very much, Joe. There you go. Physics teacher could tell me. State of Rest was the Joseph O'Brien horse. Joe mentioned that Ryan Moore lost his mind on Bolshoi Ballet. They'd mentioned that he wanted to be up closer. That first fraction they listed could not be right. They listed on the show 21 and 4. There's absolutely no way that first fraction was correct. But I don't mind aggressiveness, but maybe he was a little bit too aggressive today on Bolshoi Ballet. The horse I really liked though was Cadillac, and he was absolutely awful. I have no idea why, but he was awful as the second choice. Ralph wants to know. So Ralph, my blog comes out only on Saturdays. It's a weekend blog. I send it out on Saturdays. It is $12.99 for the entire month, and I set a blog out every Saturday. It's only about $3 a blog. It's really, you can go on to Patreon and again look on the information below the video player, or you can go back and watch the replay to see the link that you need to go to, or the email address that you, not email address, the internet address. Boy, I'm struggling tonight. Anyway, it comes out on Saturdays, Ralph, and again, it's very inexpensive and it's been very profitable lately. Jay is here tonight. Um, he agreed with me, but after this race, he realized that 4 out of 5 at Saratoga. Oh, he's 4 for 5 in a mile. Yeah, he was very good at Saratoga. I did not. I'll be honest. I didn't see that. He was 3 for 4 lifetime at Saratoga. I got to be honest. It didn't explain him running a 90 by or being that up close to a fast pace, 3 wide and still winning though. So anyway, whatever. I'm not going to cry over spilled milk. It is what it is. I was already out of the ticket, but I would have had a nice pick 3 because I liked Superfecto quite a bit in that race. But anyway, that's the way things go. Let's jump into the late pick 5 tomorrow, Sunday at Saratoga. And the weather is supposed to be just fine. Small chance of rain. I think they'll be on the turf. I don't think it's going to be a major issue there. I need to go ahead and bring up the past performances. So give me just a second for that. And there we go. And it starts in race 6. The pick 5 on Sunday will start in. Let me just switch something on the screen there. Okay, just had to get a few things up. We'll start in race 6, 3:55 Eastern Standard Time. The first race, you have to look at the board again. It's for babies going 6.5 furlongs, 2-year-olds on the dirt, main special weight, 100,000. Let me go ahead and also put up my selections for the race, and there they are. There are my ABC selections for the first leg. My overall opinion on this first leg is that I like the first time starters in here quite a bit. And again, I'm just guessing, on this, about 18 hours before the sequence starts here. The number 7, Fabulous Danny, cost $400,000 for Steve Asmussen. Can't go wrong there. Santana. The horse is working very well. This is a horse by Union Rags out of a Northern Fleet mare, and that mare is a Fleet Lass. And you can see a Fleet Lass was very quick and precocious. So you would imagine also the siblings of a Fleet Lass. You see Honor the Fleet was a pretty nice horse, won 270,000. Handled with care, won 100,000. So you would think that this horse is going to be precocious. Again, let the board be your guide. Has some nice works for Asmussen. And then the 10, Mama's Got to Run. Tom Amos has been excellent so far at Saratoga. He's 4 for 14 this meet. This horse is also working very well by a very fast horse that only ran one race over 100 buyer, McLean's Music, who has been an excellent early precocious sire. Out of a Tis Now mare, there's not much on the dam side of the pedigree, but she's been working fast. I like the outside post, and I like Gaffleone. So again, the um, let the board be your guide for sure in this race. I do want to show one replay quickly on the 1, Popular Vote. I do not know how talented Popular Vote is. However, this replay is something to notice. Popular Vote is the 2 horse in this race, and boy, was she ranked. She broke fine. You see Popular Vote on the inside. Watch what happens. She sort of rushes up. I don't know if it was the jockey's intention or the horse just did it, but you're going to see here in a minute. Uh, actually, I think it already happened. Actually, it's going to happen right here. You see the 2 right here is really pulling, and wow, steadied hard. Her head just went up in the air. She lost some momentum. You see she's still in hand in between horses. So this was a great learning experience here for Popular Vote. She doesn't go on and to do much running. She's behind horses here. She's still got her head cocked all over the place. This is just a goofy horse who had a strange trip. So just keep that in mind. Again, I'm not sure how talented she is, but the experience is going to help her. The problem is she's got the rail again. But she was a very expensive horse, cost $725,000. The one is an interesting horse to take a look at, probably in the paddock. She's coming back on a nice layoff with some time to develop and mature for Bill Mott. Might move her up to an A, actually, depending on my ticket. Let's go on to race 7. Go ahead and switch my picks. There's my picks for race 7. I'm going very, very skinny. Before we do that, Gemini's on the show. Um, we did talk about Danny California in the live stream Thursday, and I mentioned, I regret it now, that the 1A Musical Heart I liked a lot more, and therefore I didn't use the 1 on my late pick 3 or late pick 5. Again, I didn't see where Danny California was going to win that race, but he ran huge, sort of out of nowhere. So I guess the scratch there of the 1A ended up being the correct call for the trainer, but I didn't like the horse. That's the way things go. Anyway, I'm only going 2 deep in this race 7, which is on the inner turf. It's a restricted stake race as the Della Rose for 120,000 for older fillies and mares. I think you only need 2 here, and they're both by Chad Brown. The 3, Viadera, who is a very nice horse last year, is coming off quite a long layoff, but has been working just fine. Obviously, Chad Brown can get a horse ready for a layoff. This horse has a wicked close. And the other one is another Chad Brown, the 7 Regal Glory, who's very consistent. Had a rough trip in the Just a Game against Althea in Summer Romance. I'm not going to show that replay, but did not get off to a good start and then was keen and ranked and ran just fine. I think Viadera is actually a better horse. The question is Viadera going to be ready off the layoff? There's frankly no one else I would use in this race. I took a look at a lot of others. I suppose Shifty She, the 2 for IRAD, could get loose and wire the field. I just don't think she classes up at all. I'm just going to go 2 deep with the 2 Chads there. I don't have anything real clever to say. Let's go ahead into race 8. Race 8, again, I'm only going with 3 horses, and they're all A's. I think this pick 5, you don't really have to use a lot of horses. Race 8 is 6.5 furlongs for 2-year-old fillies. It is the grade 2, Adirondack. $200,000 is the purse. I watched a lot of replays, as I always do, especially with these younger horses. There's a few horses I want to mention. The number 2, on the 1s and 2s, has run very well. Both starts at Churchill. This distance should not be a problem. Lost to a good filly in Behave Virginia, who I liked on that day in the debutante at Churchill. On the 1s and 2s was wide most of the way. She's not going to be wide today. She can be close to the lead. She can sit right off. This is a nice horse for Norm Cassie. Very well spotted for this race. 2 others I would use. Wicked Halo, who was also in that debutante, was up to a very close pace, battling the whole way, hung on well for Steve Asmussen, works over the track here at Saratoga. I think is more of a need the lead type, but she's very fast. She should have the lead here. I think she'll probably take them as long as she possibly can. Um, she does have the 8 mainstay just to her outside, who is fast also. So we'll have to see how that plays out. And the other horse I like is outside of all the speeds, the 9, Microbiomi. This was a horse that I mentioned on the show, a horse I liked in her first start. She went off at 5-2, and she was absolutely outstanding. That was only 5.5 furlongs, and she did set a relatively slow pace. So it's again for Tom Amos, who puts Gaffleon on this horse again. I love the outside post. She can just break and see what happens to her inside. Can she rate and go by? I frankly don't know. We're going to find out on Sunday. But I like everything about this horse. She has a work since her last start. To be very honest, my top choice, though, is the 2 on the 1s and 2s for Cassie and Irad Ortiz. A nice rendition of the Adirondack. Let's go on to the other graded stakes race of the day. This is race 9. You see I'm spreading a little bit in this race. This is the Saratoga Oaks Invitational on the turf. My own 3/16. It's a grade 3. This is the female rendition of what happened on Saturday with the Saratoga Derby. There are a lot of horses coming out of the Santa Barbara race, which was the Belmont Oaks Invitational. I'm not going to show the replay at that race. Really, no one had any real trouble per se. I'm just going to quickly talk about that race and the U.S. horses that were in it. By the way, Santa Barbara is running at Arlington next weekend in the Beverly D versus older horses. Higher Truth got a very nice inside trip, had to wait, was closing nicely. Gam's Mission was wide in that race, made a decent run and flattened out. Plum Ali was also wide in that race and flattened out as well. Both those horses ran pretty well. Con Lima got to lead a very, very soft pace and could not beat Santa Barbara, but ran well. Granted, though, it was a very, very slow pace. So those were the 4 horses in that race. I do not think it should be any real surprise to anyone. I'm going with Euros again, and there are 2 Europeans in this race that did not race at Belmont last month. My 2 top choices, the number 6, Rocky Sky. This is a horse trained by Chad Brown, and he's been pointing this horse for this race for quite a while. Owned by Peter Brandt, has been working very well, can go left-handed turns, can go the distance. She's 4 out of 4 in the money. I have a feeling this horse is going to be very good. She showed early speed in Europe. Hard to say what's going to happen here, but I have a feeling Rocky Sky is going to be very live tomorrow. And the other horse I would use is another Euro. This one is from Mike Smith and Godolphin and Charles Appleby. Creative Flair. Can go the distance, can go the uh, left-handed, is a very consistent horse. Again, I think this filly is also very live tomorrow. However, it should be mentioned to everyone that I do not believe that Rocky Sky and Creative Flair are as good as Santa Barbara. So I think an American could win this race. I don't think it's impossible that an American can win this race because I don't think the Euros are as strong here as they were with Santa Barbara last month. That being said, I would still go with these Euros first. Um, Jay mentioned number 4. I think that was in the last race. Jay, I'm not going to go back to that race. Sorry about that. But if you like the 4, feel free and go ahead and use that horse. Anyway, those are my choices. Let's go on to the last race of the sequence. This is race 10. I'm going to go ahead and show my picks right there. There are my picks on the screen as you can see them. This is a very, very, very difficult race. This is a race you have to spread absolutely the most in this pick 5 sequence for sure. It's on the inner turf. It's for state breds, 3-year-olds and up, non-winners of one lifetime. I have three top choices. The three, Albie for Danny Gargan, who has improving speed figs, raced open company last time, should sit a nice trip. I have the five, Saratoga Flash, stretching out for Barkley Tag and Jose Ortiz. Only a 3-year-old dangerous combination. I have a feeling this horse by Lauban out of a Sky Mesa mare is going to improve with the distance. And then the seven, Catch That Party for Jeremiah Engelhart. Ran a nice 81 buyer, can be off the lead, can be close to the lead. Those are my top three choices. There are many others you can see on the screen there that I would use. It is a very, very difficult race for sure. That would so you need to spread there. Let me go ahead and show you my caveman ticket. Hold on just 1 second here. Okay, just fixing some things. So let me go ahead to the K-Man ticket. There it is right there on the screen. It'd be a $90 ticket. I could easily go lighter in the first leg and spread more in the last leg. That last leg, 357, I'd have to just pray. It's a very, very difficult race. Again, you probably want to spread more in the spread more in the last leg and go thinner in the first leg would be my suggestion. I really think the middle legs, you don't have to go very deep at all. So this is a very playable sequence. The middle legs, again, I really don't think you have to go very deep at all with your pick five. Last thing I want to show you is talk about next week very briefly. In just a second here. Let me just go ahead. So there was Jay's opinion about the number four, She's a Wild Joker. You might want to take a look at that horse in the sequence if you're like Jay and you like that horse. But let me go ahead and bring up what's happening uh, coming up this week. So there's the live stream schedule next week. I'm going in my usual times on Tuesday and Saturday. Tuesday and Saturday, pick five at the spa, 9 p.m. Eastern. That is my regular time. Wednesday, I have a regular new time for the pick five at the spa, 7 p.m. Eastern. So Wednesdays will be 7 p.m., Tuesdays, Saturdays, 9 p.m. And then, of course, my show at 8 p.m., the flagship show, which I will have some guests this week for my flagship show, Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern. We're going to have a fantastic conversation talking about my home track, only 20 minutes away. It's Arlington Million Day Preview. They have three grade ones. They have a grade three. It's a fantastic day. Chad Brown is bringing over the best United States turf horse in the country, domestic spending. He'll be running in the big one there. So anyway, please make sure you check out those shows next week. It's going to be outstanding. We're going to have some live guests to talk about Arlington Million Day next Thursday. Thanks for watching tonight. Good luck with your late pick five on Sunday at Saratoga. This has been your host, Howard Kravitz, for episode 72 of the HHH Racing Podcast. Have a great night. Thanks for watching.